Here we are at the Hair of the Dog Sled Show at Sal's Angus Grill in Withrow, Minnesota. All right, let's give you a quick look around the show here, and then we'll start walking down the rows and checking out the sleds. So we'll start over here since there isn't a big crowd around this whip. That's a really nice whip. Says it's a 77. Pretty cool. Nice whip. Got a Formula MX skidoo, PRS chassis skidoo. Greg likes those a lot. How about this stickered up long track TX 1980? Oh, it's a 440. Pretty cool. I like that. Camouflage Mascaro. I think we've seen this before. Now this Viking. Boy, I like this. It's a 71 Viking Vagagon, it says. I think it's Vagabond. Really cool sled. Wide track. Look at how tall the seat is on this thing. And then they got it rubber track converted. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like a rubber track and a Polaris skid. Really cool. Really cool. All right. How about this little skidoo Ollie? I always love the Ollies. Those are great. A P12 Panther. That would be a 68, judging by the bumper. Got this little Colt here. Pretty cool. Trail Cat. Well, the Trail Cat beat the Indy to production. The Trail Cat was widely regarded as having really poor handling. So someday I'll have to do some details on these, but you'll notice it doesn't have two radius rods. It's got basically one arm that's actually welded to the spindle on this, and they had monstrous bump steer, and the handling was poor. I remember riding one once when I was a kid, and it seemed like a thrill because it was the first production IFS, but it didn't last long, and the Indy certainly dominated over it. How about this beautiful LTD? Beautiful. GPX 433 Yami. These things scoot pretty good. SRX 440. Nice. How about this one? It's an 81 SRX. You don't see a lot of these around, these SRX 440s. Sinister. Cool. I remember they did pretty good in the shootout back in the day. Polaris looks like a Cutlass SS. Maroon year, 83 it says. So that would have been similar to the color scheme on an Indy Trail, but of course an Indy Trail was independent. Got a little Andy there. That's pretty neat. How about a 72 ATX 335? Can almost tell the 72s from the headlight, one on each side of the motor. Cool sled. Cool sled. All right, we got some sleds parked backwards here and nose in. Big long Ski Whiz 500 SST. Got an early Colt. What is that, a 67 maybe? Tell me if I'm wrong. Got a Super Voyager. Now these are neat sleds. So this thing is this is an early one. This is a 67, and it should have a reverse high-low transmission in it, but it doesn't seem to. I thought they all came with that, but I guess I'm wrong. Pretty cool. Big wide track on this thing. Show you this. It's 30 inches wide, and it's one piece. It's not two 15-inch tracks, as you can see. So really interesting sled. Got another SRX. Got a 440 LT Gray. These are some good, reliable sleds. Really cool. 300S Ski Whiz, another one. Looks like another work in progress Yamaha there. Hey folks, I just ran into Jake Root in this. Is this an SRX, Jake?
79 SRX.
79. So is this a work in progress, or what's the purpose?
This is actually a budget radar.
Oh really?
Slash drag, yeah.
No kidding.
Yep.
Is it the stock SRX motor in it?
Yes, it is. 79.
79 twin pipes?
Never been apart. Twin pipes.
Never been apart.
Never.
What have you ran it yet?
Yeah, I've ran radar, hit about 82 with it. I got a couple second places in the fun run with it.
Okay,
So
82 is not
it's
bad
there.
on a 440.
It's there. Yeah.
You know, you always hear these people go, "Oh, my sled goes 100 on the Speedo."
No.
No, those people are
No.
delusional, or they don't understand what's
Yeah,
going on.
I've had guys within a few miles an hour of me within fan enticers even.
Sure.
And, so yeah, it's all in the tricks and that. But yeah.
Well, once you reach a certain point, it just becomes exponentially harder to get each mile an hour.
Yes, it does.
And you're
Yes,
getting
it
up to
does.
that wall.
I keep it budget. I don't,
Yeah.
you gotta go cheap if you can.
Well, budget's where it's at. Not everybody
Yes, sir.
can do a full-on custom build every time.
No.
So
Nope. I got the stuff to do it, but if I'm going to be racing it, there's no point in fixing it, getting it all pretty.
right. It's a race sled, not a show sled.
Exactly.
Although it is in a show today.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's cool.
Well, I had a wild hair,
There you go.
I had to get out. This is the first time I've had it in a show, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for showing it to us, Jake.
Yeah, thanks, Nutter.
All right, check out this storm. This is Mercadoo Rick's storm. He sent me a text that he's bringing it down here. So maybe we'll find Rick later. We'll get an interview on this. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, Rick brought his Dolphin. So we were talking about this sled at the last show, and he told me he was having some funny symptoms. I said, Rick, I think it's your coil. Well, he got a fresh coil, and sure enough, that was it, all fixed up. So this Dolphin is just a really cute little kid sled. Look at that little mini track with little rubber cleats riveted on. Really cool. Purple and white. Really neat. So Rick's kind of at both ends of the spectrum here. We're definitely going to have to get him out here for an interview. Let's see. We got the Yamahas are out in force today. We got another 79 SRX. That's pretty cool. Got a Skidoo number 580 MXZ. Is that an MXZX? So that's like a cross-country race sled. Greg would set me straight on that. Oh, how about this little setup with this Johnson, with this little Challenger and a little sleigh to go behind it? That's pretty cool. You see hauling your grandkids around in the back of that sleigh? Seems like that'd be cool to me. Opposed twin, of course, on the Johnson. All right, we got an RV 340. I think the sexiest snowmobile Skidoo ever made was, well, the whole RV series. These are beautiful. All right, we got another Ole here, stickered up. Got the Flying Swedes of Scandia on it. And looks like another Ole. These are cool sleds. That's what I remember a lot of guys had when I was kids. If you were a Skidoo guy, you had an Ole just about in my neighborhood. And an Elan SS. All right, we got another row of sleds here. We got another SRX 440. This one looks like it's set up for some kind of ice racing. Maybe speed runs. Pretty hot. How about a Snow Twister with a Polaris Case Reed triple in it? Which one is that? That is a E59PL, E58PL. I can't quite read it. I think that's an Ultra motor. Looks like an Ultra pipe. So pretty cool. Another Twister, big free air engine in that, big fins. Hey, how you doing, John? So we got a 73 Starfire, very cool. So if you really look at the lineage of the Polaris Indy, it starts here. This was the jack shaft sled in 1973, and eventually it sort of kind of evolved into a 76 Starfire and TX, and that became an Indy. All right, Columbia Trackmaster, this thing's beautiful. Look at that bass boat metal flake on the hood. Really cool. They got the cool old Captain America helmet on there. Awesome. Beautiful cheetah with the purple bumper here. Very cool. And then the Scorpion Brute, which is, of course, my favorite of all the Brutes for one simple reason. The Scorpion Brute has Mikuni carbs on it. The Brutes made by Brutanza all had Walbros. So that's what this bulge is here on the hood. That's to accommodate the Mikuni carbs. Super cool sled. All right, check out this Autoboggin. Of course, this is a Canadian Polaris, and there's a whole story about that maybe we'll get on some future video. But Saskatchewan license plates to back up the Canadian heritage of this. It says it's a K95. So that means the K means it's a Kohler motor. At least that's my understanding. How about that belt guard? Love it. Vintage Minnesota plates. And yeah, cool stuff. Looks like the owner keeps his antifreeze there hanging from the dashboard. Really cool sled. We've got another little Andy here. This is kind of unusual to have a couple of these at a smaller show. Really cool. Another Ferguson. Boy, they came out for today, didn't they? All right, here's an early Scorpion. It's got a steel tunnel. It's a 66. So that's one of the first couple years, if not the first year of the steel tunnel. They did have a couple years. I know Greg has a 64, so they had a couple years before this. They had a fiberglass tunnel. It didn't work very well. They were much more successful with the steel tunnel. All right, here's a real early Skidoo. It's a 63 Skidoo. Super cool. Very cool to see this thing out. This looks like a good old Olympic. Nice sled. How about this with the wooden skis and all the nice paint? It's got it listed as a 59. That's really cool. Very cool. Got a little Kohler 4-stroke on there and the dual pad seating. Everybody gets their own seat. Then we got this other Skidoo here. Frankenstein on the hood. But that's a pretty cool Skidoo. It's got the spare tank in the back. Got the seat on the bottom. Little Rotex motor with a tiny little, looks like an HL carb. Cool. Cool sled.
See if it'll start, huh?
Rick's going to start the storm for us. See why it sounds so good. Rick, that thing sounds great. You're drawing a crowd just from firing it up.
Yeah, I think it's got a DG pipe or a DG can on it.
DG can? Are those stock pipes?
Yeah, I
Here,
believe
you should
so.
stand over between your sleds.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
So, Rick, this is 93 Storm?
93 Storm.
And is it still the all original motor, original cylinders and everything?
Well, I might have happened to put some 800 pistons in it.
Oh, that'll happen. That'll happen. She's beautiful. How many miles are on it?
I think it's got like 5,600.
Holy
Probably
cow.
got 20 or 25 miles on the rebuilt motor. I went through the whole sled. It's probably got 20 miles on it. My grandson drove it in a vintage run. That's the last time it was run, like 7 years ago.
Nice.
Every time
beautiful.
I look back, he had the skis about this high off the ground. You know?
Is it a resto, Rick, or did you find it that clean?
No, I restored it.
Wow, you did a great job.
Thanks.
Details are like right too.
Yeah, everything's great.
I like it.
Well, Rick, what about this Dolphin? I told him the story about the coil already.
Yeah. This is it's a 71 Dolphin.
Yeah?
And
not a dolphin, though, a Dolphin. D-A-U.
Yeah, that's how they pronounce it in
Dolphin.
Quebec, I guess. And it's a Dolphin flipper, they called it.
A flipper?
And they made 10 prototypes.
Yeah?
And this is one of the 10, and there's only one other one that I know of.
Really?
That's up in Quebec. And it's a little 10-horse Husqvarna.
Oh, it is a Husky motor.
And these are kind of the same as a Chimu.
Okay, I've seen those Chimos. They're kind of weird.
And then the gas tank was all busted up plastic, so I just built one out of aluminum.
Well, you got to do what you got to do there.
Yeah, you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, no, that thing's great, Rick. Super cool.
But
Super
supposedly
cool.
there's only one other one that I know of. But they never went into production. They made 10 prototypes. So
Oh, really?
Manufactured?
up in Quebec.
Cool. All right. Well, Rick, thanks for showing us your sleds.
No problem.
Last row here, we got this Motoski Bullet, really cool. We got Sina sleds. You guys have seen all these before. So that's all the sleds at the show. You've seen them all now.
That's like 108 decibel.
Woo!
That's it.
So thanks for watching that video, and please hit subscribe if you want to see more vintage sled content and classic sled content and triples with triple pipe, that kind of thing. So I got a few thanks to say. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to the people that have been sending us super thanks. So some of these go back a little ways, but I want to say big thanks to Jeff Lewis, who is probably the all-time super thanks champion, and he's also patron. Thank you, Jeff. Tim Went, we mentioned on a previous video, although you may see this one first. Thanks, Tim. Darren Lumby is certainly trying to challenge Tim. He sent us some very generous super thanks. Michael Delani sent us a really nice super thanks. Thank you. And Tony Geneseo, repeat super thanks guy. So really appreciate those. When you send a super thanks, not only does it help financially support the channel so that we can get out and make these videos and have beer and pizza and parts for the shop videos, but it also really wakes up the YouTube algorithm and it makes the algorithm promote the channel. So I really appreciate that. And no video is complete without a huge thanks to the patrons. Patrons, I really appreciate you. Now, if you don't know, the patrons give us a little donation each month over on Patreon, and in return, they get to watch all the videos early and ad-free on Patreon, and there's patron-only videos. It's a great way to go if you want to support the channel. Really appreciate you guys. Oh yeah, and they also get the benefit of their name up the screen, as you can see. So really appreciate that. And once again, if you like this kind of thing, please hit subscribe, and hopefully we'll get some snow. Pray for snow, and we'll see you on the trails.